On the roadways, you're going to find slowdowns in most of the usual spots as we enter 66 at exit 407. Especially this afternoon, we'll be looking for some slowdowns there, pretty much typical. And watch also for some construction on I-40, especially at night going through the Knoxville area. Now, we also give you trail closures, and Trillium Gap Trail is closed weekdays except for federal holidays all the way through November 15th. I'm Brad Lovett. That's Mountain Fun Life Traffic.
Good morning, it's Kira from Morning in the Mountains. I'm here with Lorenza at Wonderworks, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what all's new here for Wonderworks this year.
So, of course, we have over 100 interactive exhibits. We have, as you go through, you will experience some of the different zones inside. The first one you'll experience is the disaster. We also have the challenge zone. Now the challenge zone, you can see how many miles per hour you can throw a baseball, you can climb a rock wall that's 50 feet in the air. We also have 360 bikes. You can pedal and go all the way upside down. Some of our newer exhibits, as you keep going through, in our Wonder Zone, we have what we call Dig It. And it is a sand table that uses animation that you can interact with. It includes augmented reality. And right beside it is our Draw Alive exhibit. And so the Draw Alive exhibit, you can design your own dinosaur and you scan it in and it comes to life in its environment. And so these kinds of things, what we're doing, or some of our newest exhibits, is bringing the arts into the STEM aspects, so science, technology, engineering, math, and art makes STEM.
That sounds like the most perfect adventure for a family or young children to come out and see. I mean, I kind of want to go back there and do some of that. So, Corinne, what are some of your favorite things to do here?
Okay, so one of my very favorites, I can experience hurricane winds in our hurricane shack. And so that's something that I have never experienced. Like, I'm from Tennessee, and, there's mountains here. And so you can experience hurricane winds in our hurricane shack. So that is one of my favorites. And, a lot of people don't realize it really is great for all ages. Everybody can interact together. We do have rides. We have a 4-story 50 challenge ropes course. We're open 365 days a year, and we're open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. in our peak season, which of course is summer.
Yes, of course.
And we do have a nightly magic show as well.
Wow, that all sounds like a great time. And you can come here too. What's the address for it?
We are at 100 Music Road, right here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, right on the Parkway. And you won't be able to miss us because we're the upside down building.
Yes. Now remember, Mountain Fun Life's going to be giving you updates on Wonderworks, what all is going to be happening here, so stay tuned to find out more information. Now back to you, Frank.
You're watching Morning in the Mountains. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy on Mountain Fun Life, here with Robert Ownby, Jim Johnson, and Brad Lovett. Let's take a look at the Smoky Mountain headlines with Brad.
And here's what you need to know in the Smoky Mountains today. It's summertime, and summer gets underway officially at Dollywood with this year's summer celebration. Now, Dollywood will be open until 9:30 p.m. every night and wrap up the day with Dolly's Nights of Many Colors fireworks display. You'll also be able to ride coasters in the dark as well, and that's going to be a lot of fun. The Eastern Band of the Cherokee purchased 122 acres as had been rumored behind Smoky Stadium. Property records confirmed the purchase of the 2 tracts of land north of the stadium. Now, should the purchase be for the rumored casino, state law would need a change to make that happen. According to the Mountain Press, the Sevierville Police Department has hired a new canine. Mina, a 2-year-old Dutch Shepherd, was picked up as a stray after being injured by a car. Mina will be the department's only explosive detecting dog once trained. Dutch Shepherds need a job to do, and at the shelter, Sevier County Police Executive Assistant Barbara Parrish found just the right dog to do that. And Mina is on the way to being a certified police dog, which will take a couple of months. Soon she'll be Officer Mina. Many people love summer fireworks, as we know, and there are plenty of opportunities to see them here in the Smoky Mountain area, but one place you will not see them is in Sevierville itself, however. Sevierville Police remind residents and visitors that shooting fireworks without a permit is not allowed in the city limits. This is in effect year-round. Fireworks are banned because of the dangers of personal injury and fires. Visitors to Gatlinburg have an additional means to explore the parkway via the shuttle route, which is free for the summer. The free specially painted open-air shuttles will operate once again this year from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily through August 10th. Extra stops have been established along the special route to bring the number to 40 along the parkway. As we know, about 800,000 visitors use Gatlinburg's trolley system annually, making the 5th largest mass transit system in the state. Bears are everywhere, it would seem, and one even found its way to a park in East Knoxville last week. A yearling was spotted in a tree in Morningside Park and was tranquilized, caught, and safely removed to a more rural area. And you're reminded to keep trash in a bear-proof container and keep your distance if you see a bear. I saw a story that there was a study done not long ago about bears, and we always thought that you had the bears that stayed in the park, and then you had the bears that circled the perimeter, but it's not the case at all. They were tracked for a season, and these bears will go all the way from Cherokee to Sevierville and back again.
Now, I've heard that bears can't read signs and that they don't know the difference between Tennessee and North Carolina or inside the park or outside the park. To them, it's all just home. And, you know, another issue, of course, we have, I think, is we love our bears to death sometimes. We have to be careful not to get too friendly or try to be too close to the bears.
Yeah, don't invite them for picnics.
And you accidentally invite them when you leave your car windows down. I mean, have you seen those over the spring? There were several stories of bears climbing into a car that was the windows left down somewhere in Gatlinburg, and they tear up the inside of the car.
Rip them apart.
They figured out door latches too.
Yeah, they didn't read the signs on Bluff Mountain Road either, because we have one at our house. We have a mama with 2 cubs, and we also have a big, mean black male who's been tearing. Actually, we have had to call the authorities to see if they get him picked up, because he was sleeping under one of the people camping in a little campground next door to us.
Right,
He was sleeping underneath the camp.
If you leave out food, leave out garbage for them, it gets them acclimated to eat that instead of the nuts and berries that they normally would find. And you know, we've heard about these tragedies where, for whatever reason, mama bear gets killed either in a car, hit by a car, or has to be put down. And then, thankfully, you've got Appalachian Bear Rescue, who's able to take care of the cubs in an environment where there's very little human contact. They find a way to feed them and get them raised to be wild, not to be,
To domesticated.
Yeah, and the male that we have, he has actually become kind of a danger, because he has killed at least probably the same bear has killed 2 dogs on one side of the ridge over from me, and another dog he tore to pieces just the other night, just right across.
Don't get close to bears. Don't try to get your picture with the bear.
Don't go out and do a selfie.
Yes, nice. From us here on Morning in the Mountains. So thank you very much, Brad, for the update. We'll have another news update coming up a little later on. And we're here, of course, with all your Smoky Mountain information on Mountain Fun Life.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, "I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there."
You are watching Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy. Today we're talking with Amanda Marr, who is the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Sevierville Chamber of Commerce. Hi, Amanda. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, you and I have a long history of radio interviews. It seems like it's always seasonal. I'll see you at the beginning of fall, winter, spring, and now here we are at the beginning of summer. Tell us about Sevierville in the summer.
Well, I'll tell you, Sevierville has got so many things that are going on this summer. It's a really great time to be here and enjoy what all we have going on in Sevierville and the Smoky Mountains. Some of the things, we were talking a little bit about what's new when you're coming here, because a lot of our visitors will come back year after year after year.
And always want to see the latest and greatest.
Exactly. What can I check out now? So I highly recommend downtown Sevierville. Historic downtown Sevierville is currently undergoing a streetscape revitalization, but everything is still open.
Can we still get to the Dolly statue?
Absolutely, you
All
can
right.
still get to the Dolly statue. So go get your picture made with the Dolly statue, and then go enjoy some great food. You know, there are several new restaurants that have opened up downtown Sevierville. Gray's Burgers
Yeah.
is down there now, and it is in a historic building that was the very first building built as a post office in Sevierville. So
Oh, wow.
that's such a cool thing. And you know, they've got some drinks on the bar that kind of
Yeah.
reference those historic points. So that's really kind of cool. And then we've got Wildflower Bakehouse, which is a brand new bakery down
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Crust and Crumb, another great bakery, so you can get lots of pastries. And of course, Courthouse Donuts is a classic. They've been down there for several years. So a lot of fun things there to check out and really enjoy.
Right, and all the fun activities you can do, and maybe it's a great launching spot if you want to get into the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and find a great place to stay. You can stay in Sevierville, and from there, go anywhere and everywhere.
We are a great base camp for people who
Yeah.
are coming to enjoy all that the Smokies have to offer. You know, it's so convenient to travel from one city to another, especially when you're using roads like Veterans Boulevard,
Right.
Which is easily accessible from Sevierville, takes you straight to Dollywood. You can go on up into the upper end of Pigeon Forge.
Because we've
So,
talked about
yeah.
Sevierville being the gateway to the Smokies. It's your first stop after you get off the interstate, generally speaking.
It's exactly. As soon as you get off the interstate at 407, you are in Sevierville. You can turn left and hit Smoky Stadium and Bass Pro, or you can turn right and start experiencing all of Sevierville and the Smokies as you're driving down the road.
Now, we're talking about, you know, when you're looking for fun places to take the family, after you've been hiking in the mountains or after you've spent a day at the theme parks, maybe you want to, you know, find a different dining experience.
Yes.
There's a great new place that's opening right where we talk about that turn, where you're making the turn from Sevierville toward Pigeon Forge. You're still in Sevierville. And what's the new place?
The new place is called Monster Mash Burgers and Dogs. And I know that you are a classic horror movie fan.
Oh, I could tell you. I know. Not only do I know all the Dracula and Frankenstein movies, I know the Abbott and Costello versions of the Dracula and Frankenstein movies.
I tell you, you will absolutely love this restaurant. They grind their own meat there. They have got a very
I don't know if that sounds right.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
It's a monster restaurant.
Their food is very highly themed to the classic monster movies. They've got
Yeah.
memorabilia up, so a lot of fun, especially, you know, as people are starting to think about, you know, fall, or just people who like monster movies.
I'm just thinking that Dracula would obviously order his steak very rare.
I would think so. I wonder if that's like a temperature that you can request. I want the Vlad.
Yeah.
Well done, rare.
But also, that's great for kids. The adults can get some cocktails.
Yes, and they have got a great menu in their bar area as well. It's all, you know, chemistry, mad scientist
man.
themed, and you know, we've heard a lot about the different cocktails with the dry ice,
Like
and
Jekyll and
things around
Hyde
it. Yeah,
and
you know,
Invisible Man. Oh, my
exactly.
goodness.
So a lot of fun, a really great place to check out.
I can just
Smoky.
picture, you know, the dry ice, the smoke from the dry ice just bubbling over the top of that martini glass.
Cannot wait to go try.
All right, so what's a great resource when we want to get in touch with the events in Sevierville? You guys have social media, you have websites. It's an easy way for anywhere in the world to look you up.
Absolutely. Visit Sevierville.com is going to be the best place to go and start. That'll link you out to all of our social media. It will give you the events calendar for year-round, which, you know, we've got a lot of great events that go on here in Sevierville as well.
Oh,
so
sure.
that's very worthwhile
In the
to check
spring, of
out.
course, there's Bloomin' Barbecue and Bluegrass,
Yes.
and then you get Winterfest that starts practically in Halloween.
Yeah, well, it'll be November 22nd will be the start of Winterfest this
Okay.
year, and so we've pushed that back a little bit. It'll
That's
be
good.
the Friday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because it used to start at the beginning of November.
Yes, it did. And
All
you
right.
know, one thing that we had talked a lot about is that our leaves are beautiful at the 1st of November, absolutely gorgeous. And fall is such a fun time to travel here. I mean, you've got fall driving tours, you've got pumpkins everywhere, you've got
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff. So we really wanted to extend that Harvest Fest
Good
season.
plan.
So we've done that now.
And push the
Winterfest-
Christmas back
Yep,
to-
it'll start a little bit later. It'll still be
I
before
love it.
Thanksgiving, but you know, we're
Good.
all really working toward adding additional things for Harvest Fest as well.
So-
You know, a lot of new events, a lot of things to see and do.
Visit
So it'll be fun.
Sevierville.com.
Visit Sevierville.com.
Amanda Marr, thank you so much for visiting us from the Sevierville Chamber of Commerce. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you.
Thank you for having me.
This is Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life.
You're watching Morning in the Mountains, and here I am on set of one of our cooking shows with Leo and Bob. And you guys don't want to miss this. We're here every afternoon cooking up something absolutely delicious. It smells so good, my mouth is watering. And be sure to come and watch us. Here's a clip from one of our shows.
Okay, we're squishing it up now. And I told you there's a reason for this, and I'll tell you about that reason here in just a minute. So we're going to squish it up into kind of a paste. Now, this also helps to bring out the flavor of the banana. Now, I discovered that by accident, and I'll tell you what happened here in just a minute. But we want to squish this up really good. I'll not do all of it, just enough to make some treats here. And we're going to squish this up into a banana paste. Now, you can actually do this with a blender or potato masher, or however you want to do it. I just, this was, I was kind of in a strait wondering what to do. I'd slice these to begin with.
Welcome to Mountain Fun Life. My name is Brad Lovett, and I have a special guest with me, Robert Ownby, who's also part of our crew and our team. Robert, welcome aboard.
Oh, good to be here. I'm excited about this morning. This is actually the first time that we've been on, right?
Absolutely.
On program
Yes.
together. So this is going to be exciting, and I'm looking forward. Of course, it's Mountain Fun Life. We're always going to have fun.
We're always going to have fun.
Always going to have fun. And first of all, will you permit me to talk to some folks about who are newcomers to Mountain Fun Life? First of all, now, we would like for you to go down and be sure to click and share. And don't forget that, click and share. That keeps this thing going. But a special shout out and recognition to some new viewers from across the mountain, all the way over across the Smoky Mountains, still in the Smoky Mountains area, Cherokee, North Carolina, the Indian Reservation. To be correct, we'll call that Native American. And we have some new viewers from over in that area. Welcome to Mountain Fun Life, and we hope that you enjoy it. And so, not only from across the mountains, Brad, we have them from around the world.
And that we do?
Yes, all the way around India, England, South Africa, Australia. We have a gentleman in Australia who participated in one of our cooking shows. And he won a Mountain Fun Life t-shirt. He contacted me and he said, "Hey, I am wearing this t-shirt proudly. Thank you very much." All the way over in Australia.
And I understand we even have people from the country of Ohio.
We have people from the country of Ohio. You do have a sense of humor. You're going to fit. We're going to work well together with that. You got to have a sense of humor to be your Mountain Fun Life.
Well, certainly.
And then, not only that, New Zealand. We have new people viewing the program from all the way, not only down under, but way on down under, I suppose it is, across the Pacific Ocean. And, of course, Mountain Man calls that the Pacific Ocean.
The Pacific Ocean.
The Pacific Ocean. And that's the Mountain Man term for it. All the way around in New Zealand viewing the program. And
where it's tomorrow.
We have a missionary now in Romania. He's a missionary to Romania. So we have new viewers coming in from Romania, folks. This is just wonderful. Hey, this is Mountain Fun Life. And it's not only fun for us, it's fun for people all around the world who want to tap in and learn and listen about the Smoky Mountain culture and Smoky Mountain area. And hey, we've got that.
We certainly do. Well, I understand that I'm sitting near a best-selling author.
Best-selling author, and I never dreamed, hey, I never thought of myself as ever being any kind of an author, writer. I was just a picker and a singer, songwriter, from just a kid on up to now. I still pick and sing, write songs, and got some wonderful songs on Mountain Fun Life, you know, that on some of the programs and radio. And but I got this idea. I could not find any information on my dad's side of the family, the Ownby. Now, some of you out there, you spell that O-W-N-B-Y the way that I do. Now, some of you spell it O-W-E-N-B-Y, and some of you spell it O-W-E-N-S-B-Y. Now, you change that spelling all you want to. You're still part of the family. But that is, and I document some of those in here where they actually, originally, it was spelled Owenby. And I document that also, but I couldn't find any information hardly at all on this. So what I did was I began to do personal research from all the information like family Bibles and on the internet. You can get on the Smoky Mountain genealogy and all that, and I began to do some of the research, and I came up with this book, published it, got a contract with Amazon, and you can find this at the official Amazon Dr. Robert Freeman Ownby page. They did make me an official member, set up an official page at AmazonAuthorsCentral.com.
That's really cool. Now, where did the Ownby name originate?
That is a gray area that no one can really pin down. Now, I document in the book, it could be from an area, because surnames then were named after a place or an occupation, something like that. And so there's one area called where an Ownby family lived, and a lot of times they'd go just by first name, like John or Jim or something, and then Jim, who lives over on the bay. So that is one area that the name could have come from, is on the bay. But anyway, we enjoy these discoveries in family lineage, but I think we're going to need to wrap it up. We're running out of time here, so we would like to say thank you for joining us. Thank you, Brad, for doing the introduction here. Would you like to sign us off?
Well, we'll be talking with you more about the books and about your family, and I can't wait to hear about the history. Of course, Ownby is one of the more well-known, if not the most well-known name here in the Sevier County, Smoky Mountain area.
Sure is.
And you're watching Mountain Fun Life.
Thank you for watching.
Good morning, it's me, Kira, from Morning in the Mountains, and here I am at Alcatraz East Crime Museum, where these guys are really awesome. They're going to be giving us updates on what's going on here, all the new exhibits that they have, and everything like that. But for now, let's talk about boots. And here at Mountain Fun Life, we want to know, are you a boot wearer? What kind of boots do you like to wear? I have two pairs. I have an American flag pair and a brown pair, and I love to wear them. They jazz up outfits and everything, but if you have a picture of you wearing boots, we would love to see it. Just comment it on our Facebook page, post it, whatever you want to do. We'd love to see it. And there's a lot of things going on here in Pigeon Forge, all the way up and down the strip. They've got all kinds of fun activities for you to do with your family. It's a beautiful day, so get out there and enjoy it. Back to you, Frank.
Some rainy conditions may hamper your travel later on today, as we're looking at interstate traffic right now on I-81 coming into the Smoky Mountains, also on I-40, where there are still some slowdowns near the border. We had a rock slide there not too long ago. And on the trails, though, we're doing pretty good, except for Trillium Gap Trail. That's going to be closed all the way through November 15th, except for weekends, and that's also going to affect your access to Grotto Falls if you're hiking, and it's a nice day to, always nice to do some hiking. 407, especially later on in the afternoon, we're going to be having some slowdowns there, but pretty typical for a summer day in the Smoky Mountains. I'm Brad Lovett. That's Mountain Fun Life Traffic.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, "I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there."
Thank you for watching Mountain Fun Life. This is Morning in the Mountains. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy, here with Robert Ownby, Jim Johnson, and Brad Lovett. Let's take another look at our Smoky Mountain headlines with Brad.
Good morning. Here's what you need to know in the Smoky Mountains today. Summer celebration. That's right. Summer gets underway at Dollywood, and this year's event is extra special. Dollywood will be open until 9:30 p.m. All summer long and wrap up the day with Dolly's Nights of Many Colors fireworks display. And you're able to ride the coasters in the dark as well. It's going to be fun for everybody at Dollywood all the way through the summer. And again, they're open until 9:30 every night. According to the Mountain Press, the Sevierville Police Department has hired a new canine named Mina, a 2-year-old Dutch Shepherd, and the dog was picked up as a stray after being injured by a car. Mina will be the department's only explosive detecting dog. Dutch Shepherds need a job to do, and at the shelter, Sevier County Police Executive Assistant Barbara Parrish, who volunteered at the shelter, found just the right dog in Mina. Mina is on the way to being a certified police dog, which will take a couple of months, and soon she will be Officer Mina. Many people love summer fireworks, but this is a reminder, in Sevierville, you aren't going to be allowed to set them off. Sevierville Police remind residents and visitors that shooting fireworks in the city limits is not allowed any time of the year, and fireworks are banned because of the dangers of personal injury and fires. You can take the free trolley in Gatlinburg now. It's an additional means to explore the parkway in Gatlinburg. Those specially painted open-air shuttles will operate from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day through August 10th, and extra stops have been established along the special route to bring the number to 40 along the parkway. Great Smoky Mountains National Park is celebrating Cosby all summer long. The program, Celebrating Cosby, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, will happen every Friday night through August 2nd at the Cosby Campground Amphitheater. A combination of storytellers, musicians, quilters, and more will be on hand to entertain and educate. The program starts at 7 p.m. each Friday. Rain location is the Picnic Pavilion. The largest supply of RMS Titanic life jackets is coming to Titanic Museum attraction in Pigeon Forge in July. 6 out of the 12 remaining life jackets will be on display from July 1st through December. There were 3,000 life jackets on the Titanic. The Eastern Band of the Cherokee purchased 122 acres behind Smoky Stadium. Property records confirm the purchase of the 2 tracts of land north of the stadium. Should the purchase be for a rumor casino, state law would need to change to make that happen. And what do you think about the possibility of casino gambling coming to the Sevierville area?
Well, Eastern Band already owns a casino on the North Carolina side of the Smokies, right? So it's the same group.
Yes.
You're talking about a great opportunity for Native Americans to monetize their land. I think that's, I don't know, I mean, I'm not a big fan of slot machines myself, but I can understand why other people might want to go.
They're so much fun. They got the bells and I love
You like
that
the slots?
stuff.
Are you a slot guy?
I play the slots, and if I win 5 cents, I act like I've won $500,000. It is so much fun to see people's reaction. I just enjoy it. It's
No,
fun.
I usually don't play because I never win.
Yes.
So I don't take the chance.
I
Well,
will
they have
admit-
penny slots. You know,
Oh,
just
yes.
pennies.
I will admit that
Penny
I played the Dolly Parton slot machine in the Las Vegas airport. Because I thought if anyone's going to give me money, it's going to be Dolly.
Dolly.
When we talk about a great location close to the interstate, you've got another gateway attraction that would bring, I think, more folks from areas where maybe they don't have legalized gambling if that all goes through. Of course, it requires a lot of hurdles to be jumped before that'll happen.
Certainly. Now, of course, another thing it can do is bring more major entertainment. It's another venue for Chicago or for whatever.
Oh yeah,
band
they
it
get
is.
huge bands at the Cherokee Resort in North Carolina, huge musical acts over there on a regular basis. Do you think there's anything they would do besides a casino? Let's suppose that for whatever reason they can't put gambling there. What would you do with the land?
That's a good question. I've given that some thought, and I just wonder. Of course, that's an area that could stand to be developed, I'm sure, along the interstate, and it's pretty prime area. Of course, Smoky Stadium is there.
That's true. Land is an investment no matter what. Even if you just put up condos or cabins or a hotel, you'd still make money.
Another zip line over the Smoky Stadium.
I love zip lines.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, "I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there."
Spread the word.
This is Mountain Fun Life. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy. Today we are delighted to welcome a guest, Bill Denton, who is an architect and has got your architectural fingerprints all over East Tennessee. But let's start back when you were getting your degree in architecture in Cincinnati. What was your thesis about?
At the University of Cincinnati, I guess before I mention the thesis, I want to mention what's over the front door of the university. It says, wisdom is the principal thing, but with wisdom get understanding. And that university really inspired me to do some things, and my thesis was on my home area, the Smoky Mountains.
So you went from Knoxville to Cincinnati to get the degree in architecture.
And then I came back home to East Tennessee, and Gatlinburg was where I wanted to practice and spend my life in the Smokies. So I did a thesis on the future and growth of Gatlinburg.
Wow, and then you actually had something to do with it.
Yeah.
You put it in practice.
Yeah, right. Then I've done countless projects there, and of course I work out of, some of the people in the northern states call it Seviersville, but it's actually Sevierville. So
of course it is.
That's where I work, or home base out of, Sevierville.
Focusing on Gatlinburg for just a second, one of your projects has a big anniversary year coming up. You're talking about the 50th anniversary of the village, and you were there at day one.
Well, in my thesis, I had proposed, we almost got run out of town. Actually, I had proposed to close the main street from when those days was First Baptist Church. It's now the aquarium, up to where the Space Needle or the tower is. I had proposed to close that street totally out, and I had designed a loop around the town to where all the service trucks, the waste, and the humans and everybody, it would be, that was before Main Street and Disney World became, see. So it was kind of that concept, and I don't think Disney copied our ideas, but anyway, that was the thesis proposal.
To kind of make a Main Street USA in Gatlinburg.
And it was all pedestrian on the street.
Oh, nice.
But the city fathers, they didn't want to lose their parking meter revenue.
And their parking ticket revenue.
Yeah, and the guy I was working with and for, he was a great man. He gets credit for Gatlinburg looking the way it does, Hubert Bebb. And I was talking to one of his clients, and I suggested, since they wouldn't let us close the street, why don't we make a street on your property called the Village?
There you go.
And we'll have a walkway, and we'll have a street that's...
Yeah.
We'll make a street.
Right, so create a pedestrian mall right there.
Yeah, and then he had somebody in Florida that took it to the next step, and then our firm did all the architecture of the Village, it's called. Yeah, so.
And obviously it has persevered through all of the recent history of Gatlinburg, because you got to admit that Gatlinburg in 2019 looks a lot different than it did. I mean, I've lived in East Tennessee 17 years, and I've seen a lot of changes.
Oh, yeah. There's been a lot of good changes and some not so good. But anyway, that's my first effort after I got out of the university. And like I say, it wasn't well received at the time. To take the cars off of the street and take the parking meters up and make a pedestrian mall and that sort of thing. Came back with another concept here not too many years ago, and it sort of met opposition in a different way, but it was basically the same idea.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of cities are going to that, you know, whether it be Market Square in Knoxville becoming a really central meeting space that is with no cars.
Yeah.
What are some other projects in the Smoky Mountains that Bill Denton's fingerprints are on?
Well, recently I got blessed to do a Gatlinburg Event Center out off of 321 in the Pittman Center area.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. It's very small building designed to accommodate crowds of 50 or 100 or 200 or 300 by simply opening and closing doors. You could you could manipulate the building to
make it a more comfortable space.
To make comfortable spaces for whatever size the crowd. And of course, Gatlinburg, you know, it's been a resort area. You get asked to do a lot of, they call them cabins, but they'll be 14 bedrooms. To me, back when I got out of school, that was a hotel.
Yeah, they're mansions.
Yeah, right. And then I've helped with some details on what's called the longest swinging bridge. I get all
yeah.
kinds of calls. I think that my gray hair and age benefits me to get these kind of calls.
All right, well, let's dial it back for a moment to prior to the 1982 World's Fair in Knoxville. You have the world coming to Knoxville, and they want to build something iconic. You know, in Seattle in 1962, they had the Space Needle. In New York in 1964, they had the giant globe. But Knoxville had its own iconic thing for the World's Fair, and you were involved in that too.
Yeah, what was funny about that, it was because of Gatlinburg. A friend of mine who was the #1, he was the first franchise of McDonald's restaurants.
Yeah.
And he wanted to put the Golden Arches in downtown Gatlinburg. Well, the city of Gatlinburg wouldn't approve that.
Really?
So we had to redesign his McDonald's restaurant. So he came into our office in Knoxville to pick up his plans. And he said, Bill, we got to have a theme structure for the World's Fair because they're wanting to put a gas flame like John Kennedy's grave.
Because the theme is energy for the World's Fair,
or
right?
they want to have flags or whatever. So he gave me a weekend to come up with the idea, and I thought, well, the theme of the fair is energy. Where does our energy come from? It comes from the sun, so we need to have some sort of memorialize the sun. So I said, why don't we create a structure and call it the Sun Sphere? It was originally a sphere sitting on the ground.
Oh, but you put it up.
Well, that was the fair committee. They wanted to compete with CI. You know, they got to get it up in the air. And I had a guy that would lease it on the ground, and then when it went up in the air, he didn't want anything to do with it. So it was 2 years of constant, no, we'll never finance it. And if we did, why, who's ever heard of a spherical building? Yeah, the roofs leak as they are now, but that'll for surely leak. You
made it work.
And so anyway, it was 2 years of real frustration, but that was the first heated and cooled spherical building on the planet Earth.
And you did it. Well, thank you so much, Bill
I like
Denton.
to take all the credit, but I guess it was my idea. So.
That counts for something.
Right.
All right, well, Bill Denton, from Cincinnati to Gatlinburg to the Sun Sphere, what an amazing life. Thank you for visiting us on Mountain Fun Life.
I've been very blessed. Thank you.
All right, thank you. This is Mountain Fun Life. Thanks for watching Morning in the Mountains. I'm Frank Murphy on Mountain Fun Life channel. Let's take a look at sports in the Smokies with Jim Johnson.
Thank you, Frank.
You're welcome, Jim.
Sports in the mountains, folks. Let me tell you, there's a lot of things to do right here in the Smoky Mountains. Well, plan ahead just a little bit because on July 12th, 13th, and 14th, we are going to have the Smokies Softball Classic coming to Sandy Springs Park in Blount County. And there's going to be a lot of great things going on. These are professional softball players from all over the world.
Wow.
And they're going to be coming down here. They're going to have the home run derby. Is that what we call it?
Oh, yeah, that's where
derby?
they just smack them. You lob the pitches in, and they just try to see how far they can hit them or how many home runs they can get. Yeah.
Those are always fun.
Absolutely.
You know, bring the family out. You know, the great thing about it, it's only $6 on the 12th and 13th, but on Sunday, they have a discount day, and it's $5 on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So make sure you come down. Plan ahead if you like softball and things to do. Come on out and see that.
Yeah, because these guys, like you
softball.
said, are traveling from all over the country for their ultimate tournament, their championship, and that's what happens right here. The whole nation comes together in Blount County, quiet side of the Smokies, for this championship tournament.
It's a big thing. It's the best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
So make sure you plan your little trip around that, and then of course afterwards the game's over and your team's out or whatever, you can go down to the Smoky Mountains, come out to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg and scrounge around and find some good food and have a good time right here.
Or if you're on the Blount County side, be sure to check out Townsend and all the beauty over there too, the quiet side.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You got a lot of river rafting in Townsend, so it's a lot of fun there.
Yeah, so after you've worked up a sweat on the baseball diamond, head over and cool off.
Cool off, jump in the water.
Go tube yourself over there. So the Smoky Mountain Classic, mid-July. So we're giving you this information now so that if you're planning a trip to the mountains, or if you're local and you want to say, hey, I want to get that on my calendar and don't miss out. Right in mid-July, it's hot weather, baseball time. Yeah.
Good time to come down, check us
or
out.
Or softball time. I don't want to disparage our softball brethren, because that's what they're doing. They're whacking the softball as far as they can go.
They're going to have a great time. Don't miss it. Come join us here in the Smoky Mountains down for that July 12th, 13th, and 14th.
This is Morning in the Mountains.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, "I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there."
Well, you guys made a Monday morning in the mountains a lot of fun. Thank you, Robert, Jim, Brad.
Right.
We had a great time today. And of course, one of the things Brad was talking about earlier today is the restrictions on fireworks because of obviously the fire hazard. We're all sensitive about that. You know, you see the new Smokey Bear signs with the fire warning.
Yes, and the locals already know that they should check if it's dry weather. They need to
Yeah.
check with their local fire
It's not just
chief.
fireworks, but having a campfire. You have to
Exactly.
be very, very careful.
Exactly. So even burning a small brush fire, they in dry weather, they say, well, you check with your fire chief first.
See, now I love professional fireworks. I will go almost anywhere to watch professional
yes.
fireworks. And if you think about the 4th, Townsend has a display. Pigeon Forge has a display. Gatlinburg has an incredible display. You can head over to Knoxville and see the Symphony and a great display of fireworks put on by professionals like pyro shows who know what they're doing. And to me, that's 10 times more enjoyable, or infinitely more enjoyable than, you know,
Setting them off yourself.
I could tell you a story about some geniuses I went to a party with. They tried to set off fireworks, ended up burning themselves.
Oh,
and these are what it means is have fun with your family, but make sure you're still around for next 4th of
Exactly.
July.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you know, what's the point of blowing off a finger or, you know?
Keep all your fingers.
You don't want to spend the 4th in the emergency room.
No.
Exactly. Exactly. You want to just go out there and celebrate with the community and enjoy, like I said, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Townsend are 3 great places to start. All right. Well, this is Morning in the Mountains. Thanks, guys. On Monday, we'll be back and keep checking in every day for more information and news all throughout the day on Mountain Fun Life. I'm Frank Murphy for Brad Lovett, Jim Johnson, and Robert Ownby. Thanks for watching.